Nine o'clock and we are live. Well, let me see if I got this on. Let's see if we on Facebook. See if I'm showing up. See if I'm showing up. What's up with the flicker? Well, I don't know what y'all. I don't know why I'm flickering in and out. I really don't know. I don't see me on live. I don't see me. I don't see me live, boo. I don't see me live. Let me see. I don't see me. I don't see me live. I don't see me live. Where are you, T? Where are you, T? What is this flickering? Because I'm not getting it on this end. Oh my God. It's always got to be like some type of what you call it. I'm not showing up on Danny, I'm not showing up on Facebook Live.
Okay, I'm sorry. Can you hear me?
I can hear you, but I'm not showing up on Facebook Live.
Okay, yeah. I think there's something. Yeah, there's something going on. It says that we're live, but we're not actually.
Right, it says we're live here, but I'm not seeing it in the group, on the page.
Yeah, it's not. Huh.
Weird. Let me see if will it show up on Facebook now?
I don't know, cause.
Yeah, it's saying live. I'm live on Facebook. I mean,
You're live on.
no, I'm live on YouTube.
But it's not broadcasting to Facebook.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, there's something going on with
We just gonna get started because we on Facebook. So I done wasted 5 minutes of our time trying to figure this out. Now, do you see this? Why am I flickering? Like, what's the big old flicker thing on my thing? I'm a jig. Maybe I need to take off the virtual background. Do you see me flickering? I'm gonna take it off. I think that's better. I think that's better. I'm always in the dark at the house. I'm in my work clothes. What's up, Terry Bryant? Sorry for the inconvenience of the technical difficulties today on this freaking Tuesday. I hope everybody is having a great one. My co-host Dani Wright is driving home from her class, and we'll be jumping in with this shortly. There she is. There she is. And so we're going to get this thing popping regardless, right? Popping regardless. So let me tell y'all what's been going on for this week. So this past weekend, there were lots of HBCUs and other colleges as well that were hosting their homecomings. I know Jackson State had their homecoming, and it looked like it was just off the chain. My daughter went to EKU's homecoming. It looked like it was off the chain. I think there's a couple of other major HBUs that got their homecomings and stuff that are coming up. And I'm just saying, it looks like a party, y'all. It looks like a party. What else we got going on? So, I do got to announce that my teams, the Crawford Cougars, the varsity and JV, both made the playoffs. So we're top 6 on both teams. So our JV plays tomorrow at 6:00 at Lafayette High School. And I'm a little nervous because we've had a stomach virus that has hit the schools. I think the school had maybe 250 kids that were out sick in like one day. And so we got kids that are out with the flu. They've been off and on with the viruses and strep. One had strep throat. And so honestly, I don't know what the outcome, because for right now, we got a key injury to one of our major players, and then the other one was sick. So 2 of our major players might not even get to play tomorrow. So we're gonna have to make some adjustments and see how that's gonna work out for us. We're gonna have to coach for real. You know, it's easy to coach when you got athletes on your team, but when you have to coach other players up that aren't used to being the superstar, then that's when you really get challenged as a coach. My Derby City Dynamite women, we do have confirmed on November 12th at 7 p.m. in Jeffersonville, Indiana, which is right across the bridge from Louisville. We will be hosting a scrimmage against Canada. So we've been practicing for that. Matter of fact, I got practice on Thursday. So we normally practice on Tuesdays and Thursdays and Saturdays. We've been practicing and getting those workout ins with the women. I think I posted some of the hitting drills that we did on there. So we're showing up. Now I'm showing us showing up. I just got the notification that Hits and Heels is live. But is it actually showing up on Facebook yet?
Yes, it is. What I had to do was go in and delete the broadcast from Facebook and then restart it all together. So we
Okay,
should be
gotcha.
good to go now.
Okay, good.
So
So
excuse my my dark screen. I'm gonna remove myself from the studio so we're not out here looking crazy. If there's an issue,
yeah, because
with
this thing
it,
says technical difficulties.
yes.
That's okay. I know we're on Facebook, so we can always just go back and rebroadcast the link from from YouTube. From YouTube. So I know that YouTube is actually streaming live right now. So we'll keep that going. So anyway, so y'all know that Hits and Heels was founded by Dani Wright and myself, Terry Bryant. And the purpose of us starting a podcast, number one, was we were both female coaching middle school football, which is something that's very rare. That we coach that there's any women that coaches football, period. And so there's not that many, right? And so we just started having like just these intense conversations, and we was like, man, people need to hear our conversations and that in our conversations, because we had some really, really good conversations regarding sports, regarding just some life issues, regarding daily stuff that maybe that need to be addressed, but don't necessarily get addressed publicly. or in any type of forum, and the conversations are unique to some of our situations, but maybe not be unique to many other people, and maybe sometimes you can relate. Okay, and so with that being said, we would like, let's start a podcast. And so Dani, of course, streamlined everything. She set up the banner, she put everything together because she's a guru marketing strategist. And she's with Gulf Coast the conference, and and she's been working in athletics for years. And so she is the bomb.com when it comes to all that. So I gotta, give her credit for spearheading all this and putting all this together, because she is the whole mastermind behind all of this, right? All I'm doing is riding her coattails. And so what we're gonna do is we're just gonna talk just, some things that are on our mind regarding the sports world. We're gonna talk some sports. We're gonna usually have a learning, educational moment where we'll educate you on something maybe regarding athletics or football, because football is really important to us, and we really think that football can give you an opportunity, can give women an opportunity to have a different perspective on things with life, right? So, like for me, I'm a football coach. My husband is a football coach. My son plays football. And it's just so great to be able to have some of those conversations about what's going on. With me coaching, we have lots of moms that, take their sons out. They're sitting in the stands and they have no clue about what's going on with the game. And so when they go home, they don't know if their son is playing well. They don't know if they're not playing well. And so our hope is that that we get more women interested in football. Number one, especially if you have a son, because football probably is the number one sport that teaches the most life lessons. I can just go on and on about the life lessons that sports period teaches, but football specifically teaches a lot of things, especially when it comes to overcoming adversity, especially with leadership, working as a team. Golly, I just got my mind just went blank with just all the things that it could just help you with. Problem solving skills, being able to rational things like logically being able to see through things. Like for instance, I'm gonna give a quick educational moment about football. So if you're on defense, you have to be able to read your key. So what that means is you're looking at the opposing offensive player on the other side, and how they might stand or where they might be on the other side of the line of scrimmage can give you clues as to what they might be doing. Okay. So let's say somebody might go into motion. Well, if somebody goes into motion and they cross your face, that probably means it's going to be, it could be a possibility that might be a pass play that they just might be going into blocking for a run play, right? And so you have to be able to read specific keys in order to navigate through that. And on the other side, if you're an offensive person, you have to be able to read the defense and decipher what that defender is doing so that you can counter what that defender is doing so that you can put yourself in position to be able to score. Now, that sounds probably like, jibber jabber, but again, when you're able to master both of those concepts or one of those concepts, whether you're an offensive player, whether you're a defensive player, it really helps you with being able to navigate through logical stuff when you get into the real world, or when you're in corporate America, or when you're in a relationship and you have to look at clues about things and decipher them, and then make a decision on what you're going to do. So football does those type of things, and that's one of the reasons why I love the game. And so I know we talk about it all the time, but I got started only because my husband is a great coach. And when he became a head middle school football coach, he made me his assistant head coach. And so we're in our fourth season. Our JV again is the number 4 seed, and our varsity is which are mainly eighth graders is the number 2 seed. So we have a bye week for the varsity, and we play tomorrow for our JV. Um, and and we have a winning season. Both teams have made the playoffs almost just about every year. We do have a winning season. We did go undefeated this season with our varsity. We went 8-0. Our second season we went 8-0. Our third in the regular season, but we lost in the championship game. Last year was the worst season that we had. We lost 4 games, I think, but we were still ended 6-5 or something like that, or 6-4. We ended 6-4 last year, and so we still have a winning season, and we're very, very excited about that. I'm also a member of the Lexington African American Hall of Fame, which we had an inaugural induction last month. You can go and watch one of the replays on that. This is our 7th episode. So if you're just now tuning in and finding out about us, go to YouTube or go to our Hits and Heels. It's Hits and Heels. There's no other Hits and Heels. Again, Dani was the mastermind that came up with the name, and to me it was just so perfect. Hits and Heels. Hits meaning, the hits that you take with football, but you hits that you also take in life. And of course the heels, because, we're feminine. We're girly girls, even though football is not really associated with femininity. But that's us, right? And that's who we are. So with that being said, I want to talk about, oh my God. So yesterday, Justin Fields played, and I think it was the first time, and they played the Patriots, right? So everybody knows that Bill Belichick is probably the number 1 all-time coach, period, right? He and Nick Saban are probably right there together, but I think he might have maybe a little bit over Nick Saban. I don't know. They tough. They're right there neck and neck, right? So I like Bill Belichick and I like Nick Saban. So we know that Bill Belichick can flat out coach. Okay, so we knew that with it being a new coach at Chicago and a rookie quarterback in Justin Fields, this is only his second season, that they would be ready for them. But the Patriots also had a rookie quarterback, and he was injured. He was coming back from an injury, and he ended up benching him at the end of the second quarter, or going into the second quarter, and brought in their second string to finish it out. But what I want to say about the whole Chicago game is I like that Chicago looked like they finally catered the offense to fit Justin Fields. I think one of the things that a lot of coaches that I've experienced, they have their game plan and they have their system of what they run. But it might not necessarily fit the personnel. And then they don't make adjustments to other teams based off of what they're doing. And but I thought that yesterday's game with Justin Fields, I was just so excited. Plus, it's personal for me because me and Justin's mom went to school together in Junction City, Kansas, at Junction City High. And so, I really take note to my friends' children. They're like my nieces and nephews, and I love seeing them excel. And so he had a great, great game yesterday. And I was just excited that Chicago's offensive coordinator, or the head coach, or whoever it was, finally ran the offense so that it benefited Justin. Now he's still running for his life. I don't know why these folks didn't trade up for no offensive line, but the poor baby is still running for his life. He was running for his life last year. I don't know why they didn't again, I don't know why would you get a brand new quarterback and then not protect him, not go and trade or recruit some offensive linemen that are going to protect him. That absolutely doesn't make any sense to me. But so with that being said, that's my rant on that game. I just wanted to definitely to bring that to that point. I'm gonna tell you right now, I love what I don't know how you cannot be a fan of Deion Sanders and what he's doing and what he is and how he is helping to promote and level up HBCUs. And I'm gonna be totally transparent right here. You know, this is what I hope that will happen, but I know it's not going to happen because society won't allow it to happen. But it is my wish that a lot of the good players will start wanting to go to the HBCUs, and the HBCUs will get good enough to start playing these Power 5 schools and beat them. You know, I mean, it sounds like I'm being racist. It sounds like reverse discrimination, but in the reality of it all, you know, segregation kind of messed us up for that, because most people, and I deal with it on a regular basis, you just can't erase racism. You just can't control what people think. You can't control their mindset. You just can't control it. And then as an African American Black woman, we're getting hit with it on a regular basis all the time. And it's, you know, I just think that, you know, you get tired of hearing about it. You get tired of having to deal with it. You get frustrated, and you just don't want to deal with it anymore. And I'm not gonna lie, I hope HBCUs overtake Power 5 schools, because more of the top, you know, 3-star, 4-star, 5-star athletes elect to go to HBCUs. Because right now we got some great coaches in HBCUs. We have not just Deion, we got Hugh Jackson at Grambling. We have Eddie George at Tennessee State. And we got a couple of other ones. I can't think of them right now, but I'm just saying them three right now just stand out because they were great NFL players, college players, and NFL players. They were absolutely amazing, and they're great role models. And so that's my rant on that. Y'all can be mad at me about that, but I hope HBCUs take over and start beating the crap out of Power 5 schools. How about that? Dani, you with us?
I'm here, y'all. Your girl is tired. Okay. I still have to I was looking for a little phone stand, because right now girl, I just got in from Tuesday night class, and we got talking, so class ran over tonight. I was racing home to get on the show. I'm like, I gotta get on my show. So I'm in here. I'm in the house finally, safe and sound. God, praise God, safe travels, right?
Right.
Because so I'm running behind schedule tonight. But
okay, good. I was gonna say you're cutting in and out, but I think I can hear you right now. Huh? You were cutting in and out at first, but I think you're fine.
Yeah, now. I'm okay. So I just came into a different room to try to get a little better setup here. So is this better? Can you hear me?
Absolutely.
Okay. So you know I'm an HBCU grad, right? And so
yeah, I done started something, didn't I?
Yeah, you know I'm all for it. You know, I believe that HBCUs, like our HBCUs, have some of the best talent. Period. And one of the things that this is why Lord. Yes, see, you done started something because now I'm about to get on my little sociology kick
Let's
again.
go. Let's go. Let's go. Educate us, sis.
But when you talk about systematic and systemic racism, it goes far beyond sports, right? It stems from the beginnings of Black and brown people being stolen and brought to this country. The system was never set up for Black and brown people to excel and exceed. And so when we started to do for ourselves and create paths for ourselves, they found ways to still come through and pillage our towns and kill our people and steal our stuff, right? They destroyed Black Wall Street. You know, people forget about the Tulsa massacres, right? But those are real events in history that are not taught in as part of American history because we don't want y'all's ancestors to look bad. It's okay for our ancestors to look bad. It's okay for our ancestors and Native American ancestors to look like savages and criminals and like we needed a cleansing. And so you set up a country's politics and government system to keep groups of people oppressed. And so even though we integrated and even though slavery was abolished, all that's happened now is that the resources from the majority have been reallocated into systems that could further keep Black and brown people oppressed. And so what that means is now in media coverage, and I want y'all to be very clear on this and pay attention to this and pay attention to how Black and brown people are described and portrayed in the media. It's not fair because it was never meant to be fair. It was not designed to be a system of checks and balances. It was not designed to be a system of fairness and equity and equality. It was not meant to be diverse. It was meant to be white. And so now we see, oh my gosh, these people have taken over or they're trying to take over. And so now you see even in politics where they're creating additional systems to inhibit people from voting, to inhibit people from expressing their voices, to inhibit people from like literally undeniable rights, human rights, civil rights. So they didn't mean that all men are created equal. What they meant is that all white males are created equal. The rest of y'all can kick rocks. And so unfortunately now we see it in different areas of sports. Why doesn't ESPN cover Black college sports? They cover it, but what they do is they say, we're going to put your game on TV as a means of exposure. Meanwhile, other schools have full media contracts with ESPN and ABC. And so what you mean? Where's that money for the Black schools?
Yeah.
Why doesn't it exist?
Because the biggest revenue is from TV.
It's absolutely from TV and it's from sponsorships.
Yeah.
So this is one of the things, you know, as an HBCU grad, I have spent most of my career working at HBCUs and in school systems that are in like inner city communities, predominantly Black communities. I spent 5 years at a private school that was predominantly white. It's different.
It's different. It's different. It's like working
It's
at a
different.
job that's predominantly white.
And I think that there are things that unfortunately we're fighting a system and a culture that was created to keep groups of people silent and oppressed. And the thing about it is, if I can take your voice, I've taken your power.
Mm. That's
Because if
powerful.
you can't speak up for yourself,
Yeah.
and if I'm making it so that no one knows your issues, no one knows your challenges, and so now they can't speak up for you either because I'm not making them aware that you're struggling in certain areas, then guess what? Can't nobody's voice be heard
Yeah.
unless it's the majority's voice. And so I think that it is extremely important for us as um, women, as Black women, and Black women in football. Like that's a triple whammy, right? You
Where
know,
are they at? Where are they
I
at?
still,
Where are they?
right. I mean, I still have men that will say stupid stuff like, "What you know about football?"
Oh my
Um,
God. That is like the worst.
like what you know about football? Because I can run off some stats and I can tell you about the games that happen. I don't know just about my favorite team.
Yeah.
We could talk about the whole league. We could talk about like what y'all know about the NFL Players Association and what they're trying to do for players. What do
Come
you
on.
know about the Halo helmets? What is like? Do you know the ins and outs and the intricacies of this sport, or do you say you know the sport just because you have a penis?
Okay.
What is it? Because what we can't continue to do is have stereotypes and have systems in place that continually oppress and ostracize people just because you don't think they fit the package that typically wraps up a person that's involved in this sport, or a top tier 5-star student athlete that should be getting plenty of, like, they should have their own commercial on ESPN before they even leave high school. But y'all not trying to hear that, right? Y'all want these kids to go out and get jobs at McDonald's and Burger King and Chick-fil-A. Great, they're learning work ethic, but how about we set these kids up to get something that's going to leave a long-lasting legacy and set them up financially for the future? So I'm going to give you this $1 million contract, but I'm also going to teach you how to manage this millions so that when you get to be in the league, or even if you never make it to the league, we're going to maximize your talent right where you are and teach you how to use the money that you're getting from this NIL contract as an asset, as a tool, not as a vehicle to blow and live a lavish lifestyle that you really don't need and that really doesn't exist, because that lavish lifestyle can disappear. But if I can give you this NIL contract, young man, from inner city Lexington, from inner city Louisville, that's going to get you and your family out of your inner city circumstance, I'm going to teach you how to do that, as opposed to saying, not only am I going to use your name, image, and likeness, but you can't make money off of your own name, image, and likeness. So I have systems in place. They're going to keep you further oppressed. And then I'm going to tell you that I own your name, image, and likeness. How crazy is that?
Yeah. Yeah.
Systems in place for systemic and systematic racism, and they still exist. And it took this long to break down those walls and these ceilings that existed to keep, because the fact of the matter is for it wasn't meant for everybody, right? Like, these systems were literally set up to keep Black and brown people oppressed. And when I think that when white people started realizing that it was also keeping them oppressed, they raised hell, right?
Yeah.
What you mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
But I
You know, if
think that
I'm a
that's,
5-star
these are
quarterback and most,
important.
yeah, if I'm a
These
5-star
are
quarterback,
important
most of them
aspects
are
that we
what?
need to
Are
talk
white.
about.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's not because there aren't 5-star black quarterbacks out there. It's because the system has been designed to say that 5-star black quarterbacks are only 5-star black quarterbacks because they run.
Right.
And that's just not the case. I mean, people are still talking about Lamar Jackson is not a real
Come
quarterback.
on.
I'd be darned.
I mean, I
Because
don't know what else
even in the last game, he threw some balls that I was just like, well, this is ridiculous.
how did he? Yeah, this is ridiculous.
Because he's not only now he has notoriously had some accuracy issues, right? But so did your boy Russell Wilson. His accuracy is terrible. He's hitting like 64%. That's bad for a quarterback.
Okay, but is it Russell's fault, or is it the same thing that I was just talking about earlier regarding Justin Fields? Okay, so did the new offensive coordinator, is your system still based off of a typical, because who was the last quarterback at Denver? I don't even remember, right? But what I'm saying is, but I know you've had Peyton Manning there. I know you've had
Exactly.
Elway there, and they fit.
And they were not runners. They were not
they're
runners
not
at
runners.
all.
Yes, you know, and to me, they're not really athletic. I mean, they just sit in the pocket, and they've developed the skill of being able to throw the ball. But I don't remember them running the ball and making athletic plays and scoring and making plays with their legs. Not at all. Right. So again, is Russell Wilson inaccurate, or is he in a system that doesn't fit him? And is looking, and so you're making it look like he's not. Because how did this man win? If that was the case, how did this man win the Super Bowl? And how was he good in Seattle? How do you all of a sudden for years have been good, and then all of a sudden you're garbage?
Right.
How does that happen?
But that's what I'm saying. These are the arguments that are coming out, and it's like, I think now that we're seeing that the definition of a quarterback is really beginning to change. Yes. And instead of calling a quarterback who is athletic trash, because y'all weren't calling Tim Tebow trash. Y'all ain't out here calling Baker Mayfield trash.
Or Manziel.
But they short.
Or right. Johnny Manziel. He was off
Johnny
too.
Johnny is crazy. Okay. Crazy. And he ain't even playing anymore. You know what I'm saying?
But
he lasted 2 minutes.
But he ran the ball, and he was athletic, and he did things that were unconventional to the typical quarterback.
And they loved him. And so this is what I'm saying. And I think I see, and people will argue up and down, left and right. Yeah, y'all always making this a race issue, and y'all always, you always want to make that not everything is about race, but a lot of it is. A lot of it is. And we can't keep sweeping under the rug issues of race and discrimination and prejudice and oppression and inequality and expect that people are just going to sit in that. Because let me tell you, this generation is like, they could be our kids. Well, you have one, right? Ty, right? So that generation of kids, hey, listen, they're crazy. Okay. They are crazy. And they're not with the what are my friend says, they're not with the ish. She uses a different word, but you get what I'm saying. They're not with the ish, right? And it's because they see things from a different lens, and their perspective on things is different. And some of them are just downright disrespectful, but a lot of them are um a lot of them are more socially aware.
Mm.
And so I think that they're about to do a Jesus and flip over some tables
Mm.
because it's time. And we need to have these conversations because no longer is it acceptable for you to treat HBCUs like the stepchild. And then when people like Deion Sanders come in and they pull the top recruits, then you want to talk about we're cheating. No. We're now able to show that we can compete. We have the facilities, we have the things that can get you the exposure that you need and you deserve. So,
Well, I know that Dion is I, the coaches that I mentioned, especially like Eddie George and Dion, they have the network to get the resources that most of these HBCUs are lacking.
right,
I think one of the things that I've heard, and I hope that you can verify this, is that a lot of the alumni from HBCU don't give back the way that alumni at the Power Five do, or maybe it's because, um, like you said, I might not have $5 million to put into an endowment so I can get the business building named after me.
right.
Um, but those are some of the things that most of the Power Fives are able to do. You have alumni that go on to do huge things, and now they're able to give these huge endowments back to the school. But what I'm hearing, and I'm hoping that it's not true, and I'm hoping that it'll be rebuked, is that Black people aren't giving back to their HBCUs the way that white people give back to their Power Five schools.
So I think that's true, but it's true for different reasons other than we just don't give back, right?
Okay.
So let's look at the systems. Again, I'm going back to systems. I'm going back to systemic and systematic racism because the reason that HBCUs were even started was because we didn't have the access
To
to the
the
type of
Power Five.
education that white people were getting. So if that's the basis
Yo
of
boy.
what he's saying, I can hear him in the background saying something.
I know, yo boy. That's all I'm saying is yo boy. What's your
What
comment,
he say?
Cisco Bryant?
Come on, Cisco, hop on the screen.
Hi, people. All right, here it is. What happened is that if you look at the NFL back in the day, a lot of the Black colleges players was making the NFL. A lot of them. They're the famous ones: Walter Payton, Jerry Rice, and all them. What happened back in the day is the HBU decided they was going to play a big game at Yankee Stadium, and it sold out. And all these Big Ten, SEC coaches showed up and saw all these Black athletes. And that's what switched for a lot of the young Black athletes not going to there and going there. Because they were showing them, which is a slave mindset, is we can put you up in a very nice dorm room. We can feed you 3 meals a day. We can give you Nikes, Adidas, Armor All wasn't around back then. Kangaroo was one of the big ones back then. And that's what changed it to me, because it said, if you come to Penn State, you're going to have a nice dorm room. You're going to get money to eat on the weekend. And that's what changed it. That's what changed it. And now, in my opinion, Deion Sanders comes in with a name. It's not the point of the other Black coaches doing it, but you're coming with Deion Sanders, who finished football, went to Fox Network, CBS, or wherever he went to, ESPN, and the next thing you know, he's networking friends. And so he didn't leave the NFL and went straight coaching. He was out for 15, 20 years. So his network is huge. He calls up Terry Bryant, who's he's friends with, who's happened to be a millionaire. Can you give me $1 million for my school? So the first thing I loved about what he did is he got J State where he wanted them. And now what he did, now he's reaching back and saying, I'm going to help all of us now. And that's what I loved about him, because he kept it simple, stupid, like a business. You got to get your business first before you can go help other businesses. And that's what I love what he's doing. He did that, and he's doing that. Now, what is the other famous athlete, running back that's coaching, head coach?
Eddie George.
Eddie George. The difference between Eddie George that used to be at Ohio State, played in the league for the Titans. And the biggest thing with Eddie George, he wasn't as loud and flamboyant as Deion Sanders. If Michael Irvin becomes a HBU coach, he's got that network because he talks and he markets himself so he can market his university. That's what Deion did. He marketed himself back in the day. Now he marketed Jackson State, and now he's able to help others. That's all I was saying. Why she gave you that look was not cool, but we'll talk about that later. I love her though. And your comment too. I heard yours too.
But we get that, right? I mean, what he says makes sense, and I understand the history of why a lot of black players go to Power Fives or everywhere else outside of a HBCU, because even Deion says it. He says when he got to Jackson State, it was horrible. He said it was raggedy, right? And so it's hard to compete with that, when you're going against Alabama and the Ohio States and the Georgias and LSUs and Floridas, and because I'm SEC, it's hard to compete with those schools as an HBCU when you don't have the endowment that they do.
Yeah, and
the programs don't come. The football program doesn't bring in like that. But I love seeing how jam packed that homecoming was at Jackson State.
But HBCU homecomings are typically like that.
Right, exactly.
But the thing is that they don't get the airtime. And again, it goes back to what I was saying before, that a lot of this is systematic. It's systemic. It's built this way. It was designed this way. So a lot of times it's not even, no school thrives and survives strictly off of alumni giving, right?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
And so we also have to look at the access to funding. We have to look at what HBCUs are being given. Like, why is government funding not matching? Like, what? HBCUs can't be at the bottom of the barrel.
Right.
They can't be at the bottom of the barrel. And so there has to be some leverage. And I'm excited because I can't wait to, man, like I'm sitting on some stuff that I can't talk about right now. But I will say that part of the position that I'm in now at the conference office I'm in is helping tell some of the stories that exist that the world doesn't know about, because for far too long, HBCUs have been the stepchild of media. It's like, like everybody wants to hear the doom and gloom story, or the from rags to riches story.
Right.
And that just makes us look like as as a culture that we always coming off the struggle bus.
Right. But let me say this. Another point that Dion said, which will magnify exactly what you said, is Dion said, what was the 5-star recruit? I can't think of his name. Tucker. I forgot his name. Anyway, how he recruited him was his official visit was at a homecoming. He said, so when he got there, he saw a stadium full of people that looked like him. The band was off the chain. The food was off the chain. And it was a party. Who don't freaking like a party? Put that on. You're not getting ready to put that on national TV. Because guess what? Black players ain't gonna be the only ones
gonna be there. Everybody's gonna be there.
Everybody's gonna be wanting to go to an HBCU.
I'm trying to tell you.
Everybody's gonna be wanting to go to HBCU because they're gonna be wanting to go to where the party's at and where it's live and where it's on and popping. I mean, I don't care what you say.
Yeah.
I go to UK. Let me tell you something. The games are off the chain. The tailgate is off the chain. We have a blast. Even the DJ and the music be popping, right? I can't imagine it being all of us up in there. 60,000. I couldn't imagine.
Let me tell you, there is absolutely nothing like, and well, I'm gonna take you to Hampton's homecoming. Okay. There is absolutely nothing like an HBCU game experience, be it football, basketball. Do you hear what I'm saying? Yes. And so I think that there's a shift that is happening and that is long overdue. And I can tell you that as a communications person that's now back in athletics and back in the HBCU space, I can't wait until this stuff starts to drop.
Yeah.
Because it's important, it's necessary, and it's long overdue. What time is it? I can't see the time.
We're at 53 minutes in. It's gone by fast again. We got like 8 minutes left, child.
I know.
So my daughter was home this past weekend and she went to her homecoming at EKU. And I'm just looking at the pictures because they do like a black homecoming like every 2 years at EKU. At EKU. Mm-hmm. And so I was like, okay. Next year, I have got to go to Kentucky State's homecoming just so that I can experience that for myself. And I'm just looking at it from the point of view of just, I already know, but not just for the party, but for the networking opportunities. You just don't never know who you're going to run into that you might know.
And that's one of the things that I love is that, like Hampton has an aviation program. Hampton also has an architecture program. Hampton also has a pharmacy program. We have some of the top graduates. Wanda Sykes, the comedian. Ruth Carter, the designer who designed all the costumes for Wakanda. Mm-hmm. Or the Black Panther. I said Wakanda.
I knew what you were talking
about. And so, again, there's a rich history because of how we began. But there's also a very rich history because of who we've become. Mm. And our stories often get lost because we're not getting the attention for certain things until something big happens.
Yeah.
And
or there's
unfortunately, the
something negative.
media and people love to tell the story of negativity
Yes.
as it relates to Black and brown people. And so when excellence occurs, it's dampened. It's not the fire that it should be. And for far too long, our fires have been put out. But y'all can choke on this smoke now because we coming. That's all I got to say.
I mean,
And I'm
we're
excited.
coming.
Like I said,
We're
I'm a
coming in a
product
lot
of
of
it.
areas. We're coming in a lot of areas. You know, you're getting ready to see a whole lot more females get involved with male dominated sports. You know, we're coming. You know, I just can't wait to see more Black females that are, you know, in the spaces. I'm waiting on a baseball coach in the MLB that's Black.
Mm-hmm.
I know that there's a hockey team that's female on a college level, but I can't
Yeah.
wait until it's on the professional level. Um, you know, some of the more conventional. My girl that's in that, you know, we got a couple of Black females that are involved in NASCAR. Um, and again, we'll have to bring. You know, I don't know why I
And
don't have them
it's
their
like
names and stuff written down so
it's
that I can go ahead and name drop them so that I can
right.
bring the people aware to them. I'll make sure I do a better job of that. You know, but we do. They're coming in those non-traditional outside of basketball and, you know, and football. Um, I'm gonna say
And
this
it's like
about the
the
systemic.
my current conference commissioner, Dr. Kiki Baker Barnes. She is the only Black woman commissioner
Period.
in the NAIA.
Gotcha.
The NAIA, I think, has right around 20 different athletic conferences.
Mm-hmm.
National Association of Intercollegiate Athletics. So
Mm-hmm.
they are typically very small schools, but still, she's still
The only.
the only Black woman commissioner in the entire athletic association. So when we talk about, oh, it's not about race, it's not about, but it is, because our country was designed to be, it was designed as a racist institution.
Yeah. I mean,
It's inherently racist, and that's not being racist. That's not being a Debbie Downer. That's not being a victim. It's the truth. It's facts. And until we learn to deal with the facts and admit to the facts, we can't provide solutions to facts that we refuse to acknowledge.
but even when you're dealing with racial inequality, we still got a gender inequality as well.
Listen.
So as a Black woman, you know,
Hello.
it's double for your trouble, because not only, you know, it's hard just being Black, but it's also hard being a woman because we still have glass ceilings that we still haven't shattered. Because the good old boy system, you know, has purposely, you know, kept us out. And you know, I mean, I know even there are some churches that, you know, still, you know, want to teach that, you know, what a woman's place is. And I don't know. I
Women
don't know.
can't preach and
Women can't preach, and you, you know, they got to have their heads covered and all, you know, I mean, just so many things that, you know, they try to use the Bible against us. You know, I mean, you got to think there's even a scripture in the Bible that says that you're supposed to obey your master, you know, because they're saying that, you know, we had a version of the Bible that was written to make us be obedient to that system. And so, you know, it's always going to be so, because that part of it is embedded in us. It's just going to be hard. It's just going to be hard to break. And I don't care how hard it's going to break. I mean, we're already breaking it now by being where we are today, right? You know, in our realm of football, in your area in athletics, you know, we're already knocking on the door of those glass ceilings, and I'm so super proud of you and to be connected with you, because we getting ready to slam them and shatter them.
Yes.
You know, and we're going to reach down and you know, somebody's going to hear one of our podcasts and they're going to be empowered to pursue something that they felt like was totally unreasonable or out of reach, because they're going to be like, you know what, I can do that, even though it's a male predominantly sport or industry or whatever like that. If I'm interested in it, I can get in that too. And you can, you know, I mean, but even where we are in sports, we couldn't get where we were in where we are racially if it wasn't for white people doing the right thing and advocating
Yeah.
for us as well, right? And so like in my case, I would
Absolutely.
not be where I would be if my male black husband didn't put me in position for me to be able to knock down a door that's probably been closed to me for a very, very long time. And so it takes the courage of
Right.
people that are unselfish and see the bigger picture, for us to continue to be able to do that. And so I'm gonna tell you something right now. I can't wait to see where your journey is gonna go, because it's gonna be probably mind blowing in this next couple of years.
Thank you. Likewise,
It's
coach,
probably, it's probably gonna be
head
mind
coach.
blowing. It's probably gonna be mind blowing. You know, and so yeah, I'm excited. I love coaching. Um I love football. I love the kids. Um, I think I don't know. It's just so many different avenues that we can go. I do want to talk about an incident that happened, totally different subject matter, that happened on Friday. So Friday, my son had senior night, and so I'm the stepmom, and you know, there being a stepmom is very challenging, very challenging. But his mom went out of her way to make sure that I got recognized and acknowledged by flowers, because you know they always forget about the stepmoms, and they always give like the flowers and stuff to the moms. But if there's a stepmom or whatever is involved, they're always, you know, left out, because we just went through this during baseball season. Of course, I was left out, right? You know, so you know you're always feeling some type of way, because as a stepmom, you can never, no matter what you do, there's nothing that you can do to take the place of that biological mom. Nothing, no matter how trifling they might be, or how challenging that they might be, even if the children know that their mom is toxic or whatever like that. There's still nothing that you can do to take away the love of that child from their mom. And you know, I just wanted to acknowledge that today. Because again, it goes back to the systemic racism of how the system has broken up families,
Yeah.
right? And so it made me think about us being a blended family, and then how my parents were, you know, I'm a blend, you're fortunate you still got both of your parents together, right? I mean, it's such a blessing. And your parents are the bomb. And so it's so good to see that. But the system has us set up for us not to succeed as a family. And so when the families get broken up, it's a trickle down effect as well. And I just wanted to acknowledge that as a point that we have to bring up on another occasion, because we're past this hour, and I know you need to get to the bed. You've had a very challenging day, and so if you go ahead and get us wrapped up and tell us how your day went and how you can get through it. Because normally me and you'll be prayed out this thing.
Right.
We'll be to pray this mug out.
So yeah, I think that there are just challenges, like Terry was explaining, with being a woman of color, and being in a certain space. And so there are inherent challenges that come with where I am, and I accept that, and I know it's coming. But one thing that in having people that I say they are under me, not in a disrespectful, demeaning, degrading way, but under me as in they're under my care. They're under my guidance. I'm responsible for their development, their growth, for connecting them and helping them connect the dots and grow. And so I'm like the watering can filled with water that constantly has to nurture them as they grow and develop in their careers. And so when you come after them,
you become a mama bear.
to me, it's a problem.
Yes.
And
that's a problem.
Yeah, I absolutely become a mama bear.
You become a mama bear. Absolutely.
Today was a mama bear moment. And so I think that one thing that this podcast even represents for me is being able to have that mama bear moment, and be a mama bear to many cubs who need the guidance and the protection of other Black women who have been there and done that. Absolutely. And still going through and doing that, right? Yes. Because this is a moment, this is a time, this is a space where God has set us aside where, and I keep telling this story how, 2 weeks before you got the call to coach and I got the call to start this job, we were talking about coaching and me getting back into athletics. And so to see it come to fruition and the way it has developed, to me says this is a time and a moment that we need. And this podcast has to be a space where people understand we're going to talk about it, we're going to be about it, and we're going to do something to make the adjustments and make sure that other women that look like us and are coming from the various avenues. I don't care if you're the richest Black family in the world or you're the poorest Black family in the world. Guess what? Hits and Heels, Coach Terri and Dani, we're a place and a space, and we're women who you can come to from all walks of life. And so that mama bear in me is saying, oh, hex to the no. Like, right. Like you can't do that. You can't, I don't care if they've not done everything right. What you won't do is come after my cubs.
Yeah.
What you and it's not to disrespect the person. It's to let more so to let my cubs know I got you.
You got their back.
I'm going to protect you.
Yes.
You're going to make mistakes, but I still got to block some stuff. I still have to shield you from some stuff, and I still have to let you know that there's someone here that's not going to allow you to be treated any old kind of way just because you're a Black woman.
Come on.
And so I'm going to stick my neck out.
Yeah.
Because I'm in a position of power not to flex a muscle and say I'm in a position of power. I'm in a position of power so that I can bring other women up with me to then learn how to be powerful Black women and get positions where they can in turn pour into other women like us.
And that's the mic drop.
That's my mama bear moment. That was my mama bear moment.
And that's the mic drop. Yeah, that's the mic drop right there. I mean,
I'm grateful.
That's what we're about.
I'm definitely grateful. I'm definitely grateful. Huh?
Go ahead. I didn't say anything.
I think we kind of got a bad connection now, but
oh, gotcha.
That's it. So, thank you all so much for joining us tonight, for tuning in, for allowing us to share again from the heart. Tonight was another wonderful show. I can't believe we just finished up our 7th episode. It was so funny because Terry was like, do we need to take a break tonight? I'm like, oh no, we need to be consistent. And I think that's one of the things that we even like. A lot of times y'all don't know when we have bad days. We share from our hearts, but a lot of times like we get it out. We're each other's safe space. And so we're airing out things to each other throughout the week. Because when it comes to this show, it's not about a performance. It's about making sure that we have a clear heart and mind to be able to discuss the issues in athletics and our own issues in a transparent way, but also in a way that provides solutions. And so we air out our dirty laundry gets aired out, cleaned, washed, dried, and sometimes cycled through again before we ever get to the show. But I think that's the beauty of having a sisterhood, that we get to pour into each other so that we can pour into others. And
Absolutely.
So our hope is that you don't just watch the show, that you share, like, and comment, and that you engage with us and you alert us of stories that need to be told, of women of color, women period, that need to be elevated and celebrated. So with that, we thank you so much for tuning in tonight. I'm your girl, Dani. That's my girl, Coach Terry. And we are the twosome, the awesome sum of the Hits and Heels crew, where we are empowering women in athletics. We are empowering women of color, and we are about coaching, elevating, and community. So welcome to the Hits and Heels community. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for tuning in. We love you. And in the worlds of the word of, was it Russell Simmons that used to be like peace, love, and soul? That was not peace. That was not Russell Simmons. I'm tripping. Russell Simmons used to say something else for Def Comedy Jam.
I forgot what he was saying.
Soul Train was like peace. Yeah, something. Anyway, in other words, peace out. We out. We are out. Thank y'all so much.
Y'all next week.
For tuning in. We'll see y'all next week. Where's our theme music? We need to get that Dion song where he be like, give me my theme music.
Give my theme music. Yeah, we'll have to.
All right, y'all. We're out.